Greetings, this is StasiaBliss. Welcome back to my channel where we talk about Kundalini awakenings and managing our life force energy. I'm so happy that you're here. I'm recording this on Tuesday, and that's a Mars day. So if you're not watching this on this day or on a Tuesday, you are still receiving beneficial energy from the Mars energy, which is action, which is our warrior nature, which is the part of us that does, right? The moon is more about the being and the nurturing, and so is some of the other energies, but Mars is definitely not one of them. Mars is definitely a doer, an action. So in regards to our life force energy, I thought we'd talk about some physical symptoms, physical body stuff, and ways we can manage that during this evolutionary process that a Kundalini awakening is. But before I do that, I just want to thank you for being here. I want to remind you that if you haven't subscribed and got that notification bell clicked so you receive alerts from all my new videos, please do that. I am here 6 days a week, and I think on the 7th day I am reviving some old videos, so probably every Sunday you'll see something from before. I've been talking about this stuff for 10, 20 years, so I'll revive something from before that I think is applicable. And if you want to know when those videos are coming, then make sure you have that subscribe button. Please like, please share, let your friends know if you see them going through something, maybe something here will benefit them, and I appreciate you sharing the word. So this is a critical time in humanity. We are all going through huge transformation processes. This is part of planet Earth ascension. This is not just a cliche term. This is literally like the transformation of humanity through the gates of ascension into a more Christed or God-like state, to become God humans, right? And of course, everyone's on this journey, but we are on an accelerated path. Many of us were sent here from other planetary systems, if you don't mind me saying, to assist in the other humans waking up. So if you feel like you're one of those people, you've probably done this again and again in other places, and you're here remembering that you have gone through this change again and again. So one of the parts of awakening, and I'm going to start using ascension and Kundalini awakenings synonymously because they are, the ascension process is ascending the life force back of the spine. We are ascending to the throne, to the God realm, which is your crown chakra, which is represented in astrology by Pisces, Neptune. It's the throne of God. It's heaven, heaven within. We are ascending this. The Kundalini is that life force energy, right? That God consciousness. And as it does this, it is contacting everything of matter. It matters. Everything of matter in your physicality. So it's contacting your hands, it's contacting your fingertips. It knows every hair on your head, this God consciousness, this love, this divine presence that we are integrating into our human consciousness, right? Human and God consciousness are coming into oneness, at one-ment. So when we feel or we're becoming made aware of a particular area of our physicality, my wrist hurts, my lip hurts, I have a sore here, I have an earache, I have a shoulder hurt, my neck is out, all these things, my jaw is crunching. Like whenever you hear this coming out of your mouth, whenever you feel this, start thinking, my body is talking to me. It is identifying yet another place where Kundalini is touching. This awakening energy is reaching in, and it's finding all the, you could say, stagnant parts, but you could also say that just human parts, the human parts still functioning on the lower paradigm of 3D reality. That part of me is needing to remember itself as divine, just like my mind is, right? It's not just a mental game. It's an entire physicality transformation. It's an elevation. I think somebody just ran into my door. So We are ascending our consciousness, but we are also spiritualizing our bodies. We are doing what's called by some an empowered ascension. Now, you can also ascend by dying and going through like an afterlife experience that way too. But in the body, taking it with you, this is an empowered ascension, and we're actually reprogramming mitochondria, DNA, like all the consciousness in all of our cells that have been following the previous orders of how to produce hormones, neurotransmitters, like, all these things that our body uses to act out its cycles. We are going through an alchemical process where alchemy is taking into account that one leg in another dimension, if you will, to use the words of David Avocado Wolf. I remember listening to him talk about Ormus, which is the monatomic elements, the consciousness elements, which I take and I highly recommend you take. And I have a link down below for Blue Emerald Alchemy, who has a whole line of consciousness elements starting at the very basic to some, higher level stuff. But he's talking about this, and he's describing monatomic elements, which are Ormus particles, as is like a chair having 3 legs in this dimension and 1 leg in another dimension. So this other dimension, this is higher consciousness. This is God consciousness. This is 5D, 6D, 7D, 8D. This is like greater versions of ourselves. So as we're, number one, tantrically, Tantra is, remember, using the mind, as we are liberating ourselves from our previous constructs, as we are getting a new idea, Pluto and Aquarius, about life, we are elevating our consciousness, we are spiritualizing ourselves, and also not just getting a new idea, but the new idea is preceded by and affected by solar flares, solar storms, astrological configurations, internal, if you would call them, fate molecules or north node impulses coming from within that cause us to move toward our true north, that is the impetus in all of our cells. That's actually what these Ormus molecules are. They're the parts, say, in plants that cause them to grow upward. But they're the aspects of us, which soil is very depleted from. So we're very depleted from accessing these unless we supplement. The part of us that helps us to grow toward our mission, toward why we're here, toward this ascension, right? So highly recommend getting some Ormus. But again, like coming back to the body, when you feel a part, attention is where prana starts to flow. So if I'm like, my hand hurts, suddenly all my thoughts are about my hand. They're not thinking about all this other stuff like when I'm fine and I'm thinking about everything. My hand starts hurting, then my attention, my energy, my consciousness, prana, chi, life force, all rushes to my hand. So anywhere you have a pain and you bring attention to it and you don't numb out and try not to think about it and just take aspirin or whatever, but when you have the pain and you are thinking about it, and of course if it's serious, do what you got to do, but when you are thinking about it, that's consciousness being directed to an area that allows prana to flow there, and therefore healing, right? Therefore, Kundalini, life force, God consciousness is going to that place, and it's transforming, it's alchemizing that part of you. So long as you're able to tether yourself from the old paradigm that's like, this hurts, I'm going downhill, and you replay that old story, that old, paradigm will kind of mess up the process that's trying to occur. Now, I'm not giving medical advice. If you need to have medical assistance, please do that. I am purely talking about the evolutionary experience of consciousness through our life force energy and the process of ascension, which we are in on planet Earth. But of course, you have something serious, take care of it until you can take care of it all like well in your mind. And this does take some practice, right? To not have another thought, to have only the thoughts which elevate you to a new paradigm, which elevate you to a new dimension, really, of consciousness. And that's what Kundalini is teaching us how to do that. It's giving us opportunities to practice. And that's what every day's experience is another opportunity to practice God consciousness in this area of your life too. So if you feel like life's beating you down or knocked the legs out from under you and this is happening, well, you're being taught to love this about you too, to find God in this moment too, to find spirit in this moment too, to bring life force energy to this part of you too. And it's a beautiful experience. I hope that you really relish in it, because you may never have this owie again. You may never have this boo-boo again. This is the opportunity to make it holy. So make it holy. I will see you again tomorrow. Thank you for being here. Much love to you, and